Hi and welcome to Momza Yoga. Today I'm doing a video that I've been wanting to do for a long time now. I've had a lot of requests, and this is pranayama during pregnancy, or breathing exercises when you're pregnant. There's really only a few things you can't do when you're pregnant in terms of breathing exercises. One is holding your breath, and the other is using your abdominal muscles to do any sort of forceful exhale. That does cut out quite a few pranayama practices during pregnancy, but there are many left that can be done. I'm going to share my two favorite ones today. That is 3-part breathing and something called nadi shodhana, or alternate nostril breathing. These are both wonderful for increasing your oxygenation level, more oxygen available in your blood to yourself and your baby. They calm the nervous system, balance the pituitary gland, and they help release stress hormones. And they just feel really nice. They feel really good. So I'm going to start here with 3-part breathing. So 3-part breathing really means using the full lung capacity in all of your respiratory muscles to take a slow, deep breath. It's not forceful, it should be gentle, but it can take a little bit of work to practice this. Before we start with our breathing practice, just find a comfortable seated position. I happen to be sitting on the ground on top of a couple pillows because I like my hips lifted up a little higher than my knees. You can sit in a chair with your legs maybe at a 90-degree angle, feet on the floor. The most important thing is that your spine is long. I have some rain going on behind me right now, so I'm hoping that that sound provides a little soothing ambiance while you're breathing. So once you find your seated position, we're going to start with our 3-part breathing. And in this, we're going to start by placing our hands on our belly. And in this step, you're simply inhaling into your hands. So as you inhale, your stomach is going to expand outwards gently. And as you exhale, it's going to move back in. This is just simple breathing. We're not forcing anything or holding our breath. We're just trying to breathe into our belly. So an inhale takes the abdomen out softly, and an exhale brings it back in. Inhale brings it out. Exhale brings it back in. Take about 5 more rounds of this, just getting used to this sensation of breathing into your belly space and letting the air fill up that space. Of course, we're breathing into our lungs, but it will feel as though you're directing your breath into your abdomen and it ballooning it outward slightly. Inhale, the abdomen releases outward. Exhale, it moves back in. Inhale, it releases outward. Exhale, it moves back in. 3 more times on your own. Inhale, the belly releases outward. Exhale, it moves back in. Inhale, the belly moves outward. Exhale, it moves back in. I've lost count. I think that was 5. This is also a really good time during your pregnancy to practice your pelvic floor toning exercises. If you haven't seen my pelvic floor video, I highly recommend you watch that, because this would be a good time to incorporate that practice as well. So that was the first part of 3-part breathing, breathing into the tummy. And the next part, we're going to breathe into the belly, and then we're going to inhale a little bit more deeply and let that breath spill over into your rib cage. And you want to feel your rib cage expanding outward in all directions. So I'm not sure if you'll see it in the video, but it will be something like this. Inhaling into the belly, and then you take in a slightly larger sip of air, and let that air expand your ribs outward. You can place your hands on your rib cage gently and see if you can feel them moving apart from each other as you inhale. Exhales are gentle and easy, nothing is forced. So putting that together, we're going to breathe into the belly, expanding it outward. And then your inhale gets even a little bit deeper, and the air spills up into your rib cage, into your thorax, letting it all expand outward. And exhale, the ribs come back in and the belly moves back in. Inhale, the belly moves outward. And we take just a little extra sip of air, moving that air up now into the rib cage, and the ribs expand outward. And an easy exhale. Inhale, the belly releases outward, and we increase our inhale even more, letting the air spill over into the ribs and expanding the ribs outward. Exhale, the ribs move in and the belly moves in. Let's practice these. We're going to put step 1 and step 2 together, breathing into the belly and then spilling over into the rib cage and expanding the ribs out. So we'll try this for 5 breaths. Breathe into the belly. Take 1 extra sip of air. Let the air spill over into your ribs and expand the ribs out. And then passively, gently exhale. The ribs move in and the belly moves in. And the rain is getting really strong now. 1 more time. Inhale into the belly expands outward. Take that extra sip of air, let it spill into your thorax, into your rib cage, pressing the ribs outward. Exhale, the ribs move back in and the belly moves back in. Inhale, the tummy moves outward. Take that extra sip of air, letting the air spill into your ribs and the ribs move outward. Exhale, the ribs move back in and the belly moves back in. 2 more times. Inhale, the belly expands outward. We fill up even more with air, letting it spill over into the rib cage, and the rib cage expands outwards. Exhale, let the ribs come in and the belly moves in softly. Again, nothing is forced. We're not using muscles to contract. We're simply letting the exhale relax all the muscles. All the muscles in the tummy and the ribs simply just go back to their resting state. Okay, that was part 1 and 2. Now 3-part of 3-part breathing. As you may imagine, we've started filling up the tummy with air. We've filled up the ribs, and now we're going to fill up the chest and the upper back. So after we've inhaled into our tummy and our rib cage, we're going to take an even bigger sip and let it come into our chest. Our chest expands outwards. Our back lifts upwards. Maybe even the top of our head we can feel grow a little bit taller. And then as we exhale, everything releases. The upper back moves back down, the chest moves back down, the ribs come in, and the tummy comes in. So let's try this. Inhale into the tummy. Let the tummy expand. Let the breath spill over into the ribs expand, and 1 more sip, the breath spills over into the chest and the upper back. We inflate our chest up and outward, maybe even our head rises up, and then we slowly, gently exhale and let everything return to resting. Now, ultimately, we've done this in 3 separate parts, but 3-part breathing should be done as one harmonious breath. So we never walk around breathing into our tummy and then breathing into our ribs and then breathing into our chest. The idea is to expand everything and lift everything in 1 breath. So we're going to practice that now. Place your hands on your tummy. Inhale into your belly. Let the breath flow into your ribs. The ribs expand out. Let the breath flow into your chest. Chest pushes forward and up. Maybe the upper back muscles lift. The head lifts up. And we exhale and everything returns to baseline. Inhale, the tummy expands. Inhale even more, the ribs expand. 1 more deep sip in, and the upper back and the chest lifts, the head lifts. Exhale, everything relaxes to baseline. Inhale, the belly expands. Take 1 extra sip and the ribs expand outwards. 1 more big sip of breath, the chest lifts, the back rises, the top of the head reaches for the ceiling. Exhale, everything returns to baseline. 1 more time, belly expands outward, ribs expand outward, chest lifts up and the back lifts up and the head reaches for the ceiling. You exhale and everything goes back to baseline. It's really helpful to practice this in 3 parts so that you get used to moving each part of your breathing apparatus separately But in reality, in life, as we continue to do this practice, we will get better at breathing into all parts of our lungs at the same time, simultaneously. So that is your 3-part breathing. Now we're going to move on to alternate nostril breathing, or Nadi Shodhana. So in alternate nostril breathing, this is safe in pregnancy but often tricky because it involves occluding alternately your nostrils and breathing in and out and exhaling. And sometimes that's difficult in pregnancy because one of our discomforts after about the 2nd trimester or so, even in the 1st trimester, is stuffiness. We feel like we can't breathe through our nose very well. In fact, I'm chronically always stuffy on one side, so this is a challenging one for me. So I'm going to show you the traditional way, which if your nose is fine, is safe. I'm also going to show you my tricky pregnancy workaround, which works just as well and is much more comfortable. So in traditional alternate nostril breathing, we're going to take our, what are these? Your middle finger and your index finger, and you're going to place them sort of right about your 3rd eye. You're going to take your ring finger and place it on your left nostril, and you're going to take your thumb and place it on your right. You're going to gently push in on your right nostril to block it, and you're going to release your left nostril. You're going to breathe in through the left side, and then you're going to take your ring finger and smush your nostril in, occluding your nose now. You're not holding your breath. You're simply taking a moment to block off both nostrils, and then you're going to release your right nostril and exhale through the right side. So let's try just that with the traditional way. Take your middle finger and your index finger, place them in your 3rd eye, somewhere around your eyebrow, in between your eyebrows. Get your right thumb and your right ring finger on your nose. Go ahead and open up the left nostril and breathe in. Occlude it. Exhale through the right hand side. Inhale through the right. Occlude it. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Occlude it. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Occlude it. Exhale through the left. And by the way, I'm turning my head side to side just so that you get a visual of what's going on, but you shouldn't be doing that. Yours will look like this. Inhale. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Inhale through the left. Exhale through the right. Inhale through the right. Exhale through the left. Now, that's the traditional way of doing it, but as I said, when we're pregnant, sometimes it's just really hard to breathe through the nose. So here's our workaround. We take our hands. The right hand will be closed and placed on top of our right knee. The left hand will be open to start. Okay, and now as we breathe in through our left nostril, we're going to close our right hand, and you can simply maybe visualize the air traveling up the left-hand side. Now both our hands are closed, and as we exhale, we're going to release the right hand and imagine that the air is flowing out the right side of your nostril. And we repeat. We're going to breathe in through the right nostril, closing our right hand. And we're going to exhale through our left nostril, opening the left hand. Inhale through the left nostril, closing the left hand. Exhale through the right nostril, opening the right hand. Inhale through the right nostril, closing the right hand. Exhale through the left nostril, opening the left hand. If you're a visual person, it's helpful to imagine as you're doing this, the breath traveling up the left-hand nostril and exiting through the right as you're using your hands. So we'll do a few more rounds of that together. My right hand is closed, my left hand is open. I'm going to breathe in through the left, closing my left hand. Exhale through the right, opening my right hand. Inhale through the right, closing the right hand. Exhale through the left, opening the left hand. Inhale through the left, closing the right hand. Exhale through the right, opening the right hand. Inhale through the right, closing the right hand. Exhale through the left, opening the left hand. And this is something, both of these practices, the 3-part breathing and the alternate nostril breathing, you can do them any time of day. You can do them for as little time or as long as you'd like. I think somewhere around 20 rounds of each is really helpful. Not necessarily doing both on the same day, but if you're going to practice it, working up to maybe 20 or 30 rounds can be really beneficial. These won't hurt you in pregnancy. They won't harm anything. They'll hopefully make you feel really relaxed and help you feel a lot better. I hope you enjoyed this video today, and I hope it brings you a little bit more comfort during your pregnancy. If you did like it, please be sure to like and subscribe. This greatly helps other people find this information. Thank you.